Going to college for sure. New social environment. I'm also from the West Coast, so just making that transition definitely changed my life.
Oh, it's a hard question. A moment when my life changed? Going to college is much different than being at home. A lot more independence, so maybe that's how my life changed, I guess. Sorry for that terrible response.
You got this one?
No, I don't know. I didn't know it was going to be like that type of question.
I guess when the pandemic started, you could say. I think it changed for everybody.
Yeah. I feel like mine was actually when I came here. Or actually, no. I think it was my first time like having to wear like cold clothes. So I'm from Hawaii, so I never had to do that before. So like my thing that this is like my first winter here, this was like the biggest change I've like ever had to go through. Like I like this though. Like I like the cold weather, so I think this was the biggest change. I don't really have a lot of big changes in my life.
Kind of the day I got into this school. I know that sounds like cliche, but like I had never been outside of New Jersey until about 3 months ago, so it's a big change, I guess, but you know, it's a good change.
I think my life changed dramatically. I mean, I think for everybody, but I think for COVID was a big moment, learning that everything was going to shut down. Just had to change your mindset, doing everything online, not being able to see your friends, not being able to see some of your family. So that definitely changed my mindset, a lot of my loved ones too.
These are tough questions. What changed my life?
Probably getting into college last year because I was so nervous, and then I got in, and now I'm in Philly. So
it's probably my sex change. I really haven't had any groundbreaking moments. I would say. Matt, when did you start getting famous? That must have been life changing.
Oh yeah, wait,
Broke
what?
100K on TikTok?
Oh yeah, that's probably what changed my life. 100K on TikTok, Parsnip Schools, just go follow it.
Oh wow, you're shouting yourself out now.
I am. That's probably what changed a little bit.
When I got accepted here, I actually got waitlisted for here, and then I got accepted. And when I got waitlisted, I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to do with my life. So I decided I was going to go to community college, and then I got accepted here, and I didn't really know what to do because I had already like made plans at that point. But then I decided like this is my time to shine. No one's like I only have 4 years of undergrad, and I'm going to make it the best that I can make it. And considering everything that's like gone on in the past 2.5, I'm a junior now. Considering everything that's gone on like the past 2.5 years, I think I've done a pretty damn good job.
I think it was my sophomore year. I was just making bad decisions all throughout fall. I done it all freshman year. I was failing classes, and I had a close roommate who got kicked out of the school for doing the same things. And he was kind of like, look, man, he's like, you got to change it. And so when I came back, immediately got to work, got A's and B's, have kept that up all the way, and changed my habits.
The one I remember the most was like the first time I moved. It's kind of like I was like uprooted, like everything just like kind of was like swept away. I had to start over again. I had to like make new friends at school. I had to like learn like a new area and stuff like that. I think it's probably when my life changed the most, but I think it was overall for the better.
Well, my dog got cancer over the summer, and I had to be working away from home for a couple of months. So I had to like watch her go through that through like pictures and text from my mom, which was really hard. But she's all good now. She's in remission.
When I got into Student Ambassadors, it's the tour guide organization here, and it was the moment that I really felt included on campus, and I really felt like this was the right place for me and I'm on the right path for my life as a whole.
When I came to America, I think that's when my life changed. Yeah, that was a big change.
Yeah, I guess for me too. No, at the moment it's definitely like scary. But like right now it's like, I guess it's worth it.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm not in it.
I mean that's the easy answer, but to take it even further back, I guess meeting a significant other, meeting my wife is what started the chain of events that changed it all. Not being able to get a job out of school changed a lot as well too. 2009 exactly. So changed course of career, what I thought you wanted to do, but also changes your thoughts about work and what you want to do and what's important for work as well too. So started on the path to owning your own business, doing your own thing, working in a field that you're passionate about versus something that maybe you thought you were doing just to make money or be cool or something like that. So
I think when I switched, I had one career and then I switched to another career. I'm in school now, and I think the realization that you can do that, you don't have to be stuck in your ways and you don't have to maintain the same way of life. You have an ability to change that. So I used to be in HVAC, and I'm a college student pursuing architecture right now, which I really enjoy.
Oh, there's several moments. My first child probably would come to mind, yes. Well, all my children, actually, but that changed my life. The way I look at life, how I feel about life, that it was, you know what I mean? It was, I don't know if it's legacy or it was just that, you know what I mean, that's something I created that, you know, that I've put out here for the world, you know. I've created something great.
I think when I went to college, started becoming more of an adult and less of a little brat of a kid. I think college gives you a lot more responsibility and starts turning you into a better person. You get the opportunity to be a better person. I'd say that.
Oh, that's the easiest when I had my daughter. 100%. You went from just caring about yourself in a way to all of a sudden loving something that you didn't know you could. Oh, I didn't think that would make me sad.
This is a first.
I guess I never really thought about it until you said it. But yeah, 100%. I had my daughter. It was like it was like a love that something that I didn't know I was missing until I held her for the first time. Yeah. Thanks for that.
I had the privilege of working in a hospital while I was in high school, so this was early on. I thought I wanted to become a nurse or work in the healthcare field. Funny enough, I'm here helping the healthcare field. But I don't have the stamina to do so. Blood, things of that nature are not something that work well within my wheelhouse. And so I learned that through that process, but while there, I had the unique ability to see, I wouldn't say it's unique as many people do in healthcare, but for me, it was unique. The ability to see behind a curtain where individuals suffer in isolation. That was very challenging. I lived a life where I was very sheltered from them. And whether it be patients who did not have family to support them in their final days, or individuals who were, going through the challenges of knowing that the end of their days was coming and having to prep that with their family, was something very emotional. And I think that it allowed me to, appreciate what I have. Don't do great at doing that all the time, but to really value, those connections that you make and the experiences that you have, and use that to propel you forward and to allow others to have those as well, and make sure that you understand the depth of what you're presented with and how to continue to carry that forward with you. So that really, I think, allowed me to really appreciate some aspects that I probably wouldn't have had the ability to do as early on as I did.
It was probably the day my dad passed away. He, like I said, he was tragically suddenly taken from us. So, that kind of flipped the switch in my brain of, you don't really have, you're not on here, you're not on this life, for much longer. You never know exactly when you're going to be taken away from. So, enjoy every moment. And that's why I'm out hiking the AT. It's just a dream I have and I've always wanted to do. So, you know what? I have the time to do it. I have some money in my pocket to go spend and do it. So I'm gonna go enjoy this dream. And so far, it's been amazing. So. Every day it's been amazing.
Probably winning the race. Yeah, coming first place in like a really huge race with like 700 people. It felt to me like happy because running that race really impacted my life, and that's always been what I wanted to do, was win races.
My wife is a 12-year breast cancer clear survivor.
And I can tell you, being a school teacher and her having a OBGYN that had retired and sent names out, our normal time was around Thanksgiving to go do our yearlies, and she had talked about putting it off. And I overheard the conversation, and I said, no, you can't put it off. And I was headed to my blood work, and I go into a new OBGYN, and I go in and I make my wife a new patient appointment, and I come home from work and hand her the appointment card, thinking what a great husband I am, and we fought for 3 weeks. You need to cancel that. I said, you need to make your appointment. So this went on for about 3 weeks. I come home, well, I made that appointment. I said, okay, I'll cancel mine. New OBGYN, lump detected, caught early, stage 2 breast cancer, surgery, a little bit of radiation, no lymph node involvement in this. This story would have been a whole lot different if that thing had grown in her for a whole nother year. And so, yes, I am blessed. And one night water skiing, when we were skiing at night, and I came within inches of getting the whole bottom end of my body trimmed off down at Baden Lake behind a 390 horsepower jet pump. And I had 3 feet of rope in my hand when the pipe went by, and I'm still here to talk about it. So I've been blessed twice, with my wife's health and with me surviving near death.
Okay, this is a serious moment. So I had a store, and then things happened during COVID, and I lost my store, and it completely changed my life. But I can say that it probably changed my life for the better, just because I learned a lot of things, like as far as business goes, as far as friends goes, like as far as people in general. So it was a good thing in the end.
I said was fake.
They was fake.
Because of this, is this gonna be bleeped out? The bitches was fake.
Yeah, so if you ever own a business, always remember that everybody that come around is not here for your best good. And that's on periods. And that's why I'm drunk.
Maybe when I got married. Probably so. Because it was different. I had to, all of a sudden, a lot of responsibility. And I've always had the mindset that the husband and the father is responsible for anything and everything that goes wrong. To some extent, some of it. But so instead of being sort of carefree and whatever, I became more responsible.
For me, it was when I actually studied abroad in England. It's not really a moment, it was more of a year. But like it changed my whole like perspective on the world and who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, and that I wanted to travel and explore. And it's part of the reason I'm hosting an exchange student at this moment. So
I pretty much want to say the same thing, because this is my end of the year abroad. So I would say that this was like the most, like these 10 months I have been living with her in America has definitely been like the most mind-opening experience I have had. Just the change of the whole environment and everything. It's been to some new knowledge, and yeah.
When I was around 14, I got diagnosed with a medical condition called diabetes insipidus, which means I spent a lot of time in hospital and stuff because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. It's like a shrinkage of a certain part of the brain, which affected like my bladder and stuff. So spending a lot of time in hospital being poorly and people not being able to figure out what was wrong with you definitely knocked my confidence and made me much more reserved as a person.
Well, my best friend of childhood moved away at 10 years old. That was pretty hard. Like, I actually met him a few months ago, but like I said, I mean, we're both 20 years old now, so I mean, it was 10 years of catching up to do in one day. It's hard to do, you know, but I remember that day, that fateful day where he told me he was moving to, I don't remember where now, another part of Virginia, but that was, like I said, I mean, I was young and he was young, so it really hurt us both. but I'm glad we were able to reconnect one day.
I think for me, at least as of now, I mean, there's so many ways to define change, but definitely moving to the U.S. was the big, obviously, a change in my life. I moved here when I was 15. At the time, you're going through very formative years, and it's like when you're forming close bonds with friends and trying to figure out your identity and such. And when we made that transition over, I feel like that was disrupted, and at some point there was a lot of discontent with having moved. But now, in retrospect, you know, it's always, hindsight is always 20/20. I don't think I would have it any other way because I'm happy where I am.
Not to be cliche, but I spent a little bit of time studying abroad when I was in college, and I went to Spain for a couple months, and I feel like it was like one of the first times in life where I like actually like let myself relax and like be in the moment and like enjoy experiences rather than like work towards like med school and this grind that I like always like had envisioned. Like I finally was like, you know what, life is a little bit more than just this, and I feel like that was a really big change where I kind of embraced more of the like spontaneity of life and the adventure. And
well, I guess when I had gotten married, even though I'm not married now, but I got 3 wonderful daughters, and that changes a person when you have kids and responsibilities, and teach them love and compassion and raise them right and try to steer them in the right direction, and just watching them grow and change. Like my one daughter was born premature, and she was always very shy and, you know, quiet. And then all of a sudden, by the time she got to high school, she was class president and just completely changed. And it was so cool to watch that change, that metamorphosis of like flowering and coming to herself. It's really neat. Yeah, well, just having a family that'll change you, you know. Because you have those responsibilities, you got midgets to take care of. And just to watch them grow, so that is amazing. And just to see the birth too, to be there at birth, you're like, wow, what a miracle. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to have a child, or, you know, to watch them come out and just grow and change so quick. And so now I have grandkids, and I watch them, and they love Grandpa. And we have a good time.
I spent a lot of time traveling this world. I've been to over 50 countries in my life because I was always outwardly observing. I always wanted to be entertained by what was around me, constant change. I always needed that new, refreshing kind of perspective, or just something to look at, keep my mind occupied. So at some point, I decided that I had done my outward journey, and the next phase was inward, and that decision absolutely changed my life. Far more vast things to discover inwardly than there is in this 3D world, by far.
I had kids, and instead of being a kid, I had to grow up being an adult. There's more to life than just getting high and being alone, in other words.
I'd have to say going to school. It's just kind of like I've been around the same people my whole life, kind of like the same atmosphere. And then at school, it's kind of a lot of different things. So I changed a lot too. And me, I don't know. I mean, I guess I got a lot more like open-minded about things. I don't know, a lot more accepting of whatever it is, seeing things how they come.
Too many moments. Really, after all these years, I guess the moment when I was on the precipice of adulthood and I decided to get married and move away from my small hometown, moved with my husband, who's here with me. We moved to South Carolina, and I had never left my little hometown. So it was a learning experience. I got to meet people that I never thought I would meet before. The college I attended was a pretty big melting pot of minorities, I guess. And I met people from different countries and experienced their cultures, and it taught me a lot about myself because I had gotten out of a very provincial feeling, so I felt more like a world citizen.
When I got married, my life completely changed. Before, it was good. After, it was better.
when I met my now wife, and everything changed. Now we got 3 kids and moved away from where we were in Oklahoma and started anew, So really just a different person, you kind of just change your lifestyle. You're not partying as much anymore and doing dumb things and righting your wrongs. If you're smart, you right your wrongs when you have an opportunity, So
when my grandparents died, 6 weeks apart from each other, just realized that we are not on this earth for very long, so make the best of it. It doesn't feel like it, but your loved ones will be gone someday, so cherish them while you can. And that led me to start living in the present more and start appreciating what I have now more instead of wanting it when it's gone. So that was exactly 1 year ago, almost this week. So kind of thinking about that a lot lately too. But yeah.
Well, yeah, Peru. I had a great time down there. I'm a traveler, so ayahuasca was good. Being in Southeast Asia is pretty amazing because you really get to see a whole different perspective on life. Did that change me? I think probably, but probably all trips to foreign countries change you in some way or another. At Machu Picchu, I hiked that trail that's out. Have you been there? There's a trail outside of Machu Picchu, and when you get up there, you have to get down. There's no one that will help you. There's no helicopter. It was the scariest thing of my whole life, coming down that. And it did leave you shaken, but also realizing that you can do just about anything. You just have to stick with it and kind of push those fears aside. So that was life-changing. Having kids was, but I don't know if that was a good life change or not, just different. Of course I love my kids, but boy, does that alter your life forever, right? Don't ever play this for them. I don't know if it's worth all the effort. It's a lot of work to raise kids, and your life is on pause, and we had great times. But you look back on it later and you think, God, that was 20 years of a lot of work, a lot of money. Did it make my life long-term better? I don't know that it did. It didn't hurt it, but I saw recently where a magazine did a survey, like if you had it to do over again and nobody knew how you were going to answer this, would you have kids again? A lot of the women said, no way. And a couple of them said, yes, just not the same kids, which I really liked. Yeah. Is that it?
Oh, there's so many. One of them, I guess probably the birth of my children is a life changer. I don't know if you have kids yet or not, but when you do, you'll see what I mean. It definitely is. It's a major changer in your life. Probably just the responsibility that comes with having children. It kind of makes you think differently.
The day that I actually got divorced, my life changed for the better. I know some people probably shouldn't say that, but that's what happened with me. It was just life-altering to where I felt the pressure and the stress just relieve off of me.
About your son?
I had 2 kids. Everything else just didn't matter. So it's just, you're selfless. You have, you give birth to 2 beautiful children. You want, everything's about them. Your husband's needs aren't as important. So as corny as that may sound, having kids is life-changing. It's just, there's no other high than that, and seeing them succeed. So it's kind of corny, but it's the truth.